Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's October 12th. We're live. It's 10 a.m. Eastern. As always, we go live at 10 a.m. Eastern. And it is 7 a.m. where I'm from. So a little bit earlier, but I'm a morning person. So it's all good. We've got another awesome guest here on the show. I have seen her on TikTok, on Instagram, and especially on her. Well, we'll uncover where I've seen her. If you're tuning in with us, let us know in the comments. Where are you tuning in from? Where are you from? Where are you watching from? It's always nice to see where people are calling in from, or I guess not calling. You're not calling in from. Opening the Facebook app from. We go live every single Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. If you want, you can text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553, and you'll get a little text message reminder every single time we go live. It's nothing invasive, or it doesn't try to sell you anything. It's just simply a little text message that says, hey, we're going live, tune in. It's a much better way to get a little, just a little wake up without having to tune into something lame like CNN or Fox News or something like that. That's going to fill you with a bunch of fear of, the next world war that we're going to get into or whatever else. Instead, hear from people who are building a business just like you want to, and see what's led them to success. So today, I'm really excited to have on our guest today. Her name is Bonnie, and she's crushing it with a really sneaky strategy, and we're going to unpack a little bit about that today. Bonnie, what's up?
Hey, good morning, Matt. How are you?
Morning. I'm fantastic. Thanks for coming on the show.
Nice to be here. I love watching. I usually listen to this on Spotify.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
cool. We got lots of people who watch as a or sorry, listen as just like a podcast, so that's cool
Yes,
to hear you do that. This is your first time on, right?
it is. It
Cool.
is.
That's so
Yeah,
exciting. I'm
yeah.
glad you're on. So tell everybody here, including me, I actually don't know much, but we've chatted, and you're part of our business blueprints community. We've chatted before, but tell everybody a little bit about your story and your journey, and how did you find Legendary?
Well, I've been a single mom for about 8 years now, and I've always done side hustles.
Okay.
Uh, and I was stuck in the side hustle cycle. I was doing everything from online tutoring kids in China, so my days and nights were flipped,
Wow.
to like all the other side hustles you see. And in
Hmm.
December of 2021, inflation started to kick in, and I had to make a choice. Do I find another side hustle, or do I figure out how to work from home? So I went to YouTube and I just typed in how to work from home. And I shared the story on my lives a lot because this is how I found Legendary Marketer. There was a mom doing a quick YouTube video about how she found Legendary Marketer. And she was my age, not all made up, sitting at her desk, literally talking into her phone. And that's how I found Legendary Marketer.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy, crazy. And when you found us, so let's talk about side hustles. You've done like legit, almost like a job, like teaching, actual teaching, or
Yes.
tutoring,
Yeah.
and then uh, other stuff that you had done. Anything that was in sort of the marketing realm, or like in the business realm, or more sort of
No,
job side hustles.
it was side hustles, things
Cool.
I saw online, like designing books on Canva and selling them online, but
Yeah,
nothing that would ever replace all my side hustles to a full time income. And that
got
was always my goal, to work from home on my own schedule, a full time income. But so my side hustles put together made that happen, but I never thought I would find one.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. And so you find Legendary. Tell us a little bit about, how did the process go of going through the challenge, and what was that like? How was your
Well,
experience going through the challenge?
I absolutely loved it because for someone that had never heard about this, um, It was super beginner friendly. The 15 days was super beginner friendly. And I'm not going to lie, I had to watch the videos a bunch of times, especially day 3, because, I don't have advanced tech skills at all.
Sure.
Um, but I absolutely love the way it was broken down.
Mhm.
So I went through it at night after my boys went to sleep.
Cool.
And some days I had to watch it again in the morning with coffee. But it was definitely easy for me to follow because of how it was organized.
Yeah, cool. And I think it's just really helpful and valuable for people to know, that people are watching and rewatching and going through it again. And I like it just happens all the time. Will people message me or send me an email or something and say, oh dude, I just can't get this. And then I'll email them the next day and like 24 hours later and say, hey, did you try blah blah blah? And they'll immediately just write back and say, "Hey, I actually watched the videos a couple more times and I got it. It made sense."
Yeah.
And I never want to tell people, "Hey, you just need to rewatch the training," but a lot of times that is
Everything's there.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When you dive into the challenge, you work your way through the entire challenge, and I'm I'm sort of curious, from your end, you're thinking, okay, I've seen people creating content on TikTok, and I'm guessing your eyes are kind of open to um, how people are creating, for instance, short form video content
Yeah.
and turning it into a little side business. Not little, I mean, a pretty great side business. Your last 30 days have been amazing. I mean, you're
Thank,
killing
thank you. Thank you.
and just getting started too, so but I'm curious, like, what was your feeling about that? Because not everybody's super excited about just popping on video and creating content.
Well, I had never heard of TikTok. I have to
Okay.
tell you, I had never heard of it. And when I put it on my
This is
phone the
great.
first time and the algorithm didn't know what I wanted to see,
Sure.
I was like, yeah, I'm never getting on this ever. Um, but that's the way you connect with people.
Mm,
Um, and after a while of doing short form videos and just getting comfortable with what I'm comfortable doing on camera, what I'm not a trendy dancer and all that. Like, it's great that
sure.
people do that, but if you're not comfortable with that, it comes across on camera.
Yeah.
Um, but I just had to get out of my comfort zone, and like, this is what I have to do if I want to stop these side hustles. I got to get on camera.
Hmm.
And it took a while. It took a while to really get comfortable and figure out my message.
Sure. Yeah, and also just actually hitting post for the first time. When you say a while, people say things like this a lot, and I'm wondering what exactly this means. But when you say a while, it took a while. Tell me about specifically what was happening during that a while. Like, what did you start creating, like a TikTok channel and an Instagram profile, and like start to like kind of look around, maybe hit post and then delete it, or like, what did that look like? What was the nerves? What was the feeling there?
It was just really being overwhelmed by social media
Mm,
because I did not grow up at the age of social media. And I didn't really know how to do social media, to be honest with you.
yeah. Like, what even is it?
Right. I mean, I was on Facebook and kept in touch with friends, but to actually promote things online, it's very different than just commenting on someone's kids, like, oh, they're really cute. Very different type of post.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, content creation versus just sort of
Yeah.
social engagement, just sort of whatever, hanging out on social media or something. You know why this is so helpful is there's just so many people out there like you. And even the funny part is like my generation too of people who like for the most part the average friend that I have here, like in Phoenix, like my everyday friends, like they wouldn't have any clue where to start posting short form content to go viral or to get views or to sell something. they'd be like, "What?" Like, TikTok is just where you, like, you
There
lay
you
in
go.
bed and maybe, like, just scroll through videos for
Yeah.
entertainment, like, what are we talking about? How does that even work?
Yeah.
And, in 20 and I know some people who own, like, restaurants, and I know some people who own, various, like, brick and mortar small businesses, and it's funny because our community, at Legendary, we've had a course out on TikTok for, I think, over 2 years. Yeah, over 2 years, and our community's been destroying it on TikTok. I mean, crushing on TikTok for, like, 2 years, and Instagram Reels too. We've had a course on that for a year, and people are just now the very forefront of the average business owner is just now starting to test the waters with TikTok, with
Yes.
Instagram Reels. And I think most people are still really confused and lost on all of that, and even on just how do I create a following on social media? Because sometimes the way that you explain that even is it seems or it feels a bit, intimidating, to
Okay.
get on social media, but the truth is everybody's sort of making it up as they go, sort of just trying to figure it out, like, "What's going on? I don't know how to do this." That's basically everybody.
And I
Um
think a lot of people, I know I went through this. I didn't want to show my face because I didn't want people to pass judgment.
mm,
And then one day I had an epiphany that I go to the supermarket, I go to Costco, I go to the library, and hundreds of people see me out, and I don't give it a second thought. And I'm
mm,
not providing them with any value. I'm simply going about my day. So why would this be any different? Here I'm providing
wow,
value. And I really had to get over that of what people thought of how I look and my age on TikTok. I just had to get past that.
wow.
Yeah, it was a moment. It was a
It
moment.
was a whole moment.
It was a whole moment.
It is funny, like, I don't know. Tell us about what it's like now on the other side of that feeling because, a lot of people who are watching right now know what that feeling is like.
Yeah.
They don't need to be told what that feels like.
Oh
But
yeah.
they might wonder, what does that feel like on the other side if I were to actually break through, if I were to actually come out on the other side and start doing the thing that I fear the most.
It's personally for me, it's getting uncomfortable, and when you accomplish getting comfortable again, you're like, I can do this. Um, I actually look
Mm,
forward to my morning lives literally every single day now.
wow.
And I never thought I would say that. I look forward to people getting on my lives and asking questions and I could help them. So for me, it's
Yeah,
you celebrate the small wins because I never thought I would be on TikTok, let alone showing my face and doing live. So celebrate
yeah.
those small wins.
Yeah, and the I imagine the payoff, the feeling. I It's funny because, going live on TikTok, that is sort of an intimidating thing. I mean,
Yeah.
talk about being vulnerable. Like,
Yeah.
it's a really going live anywhere is a really intimidating, vulnerable thing, but maybe even more so on something like TikTok or Instagram or something where, you number 1, you're feeling new, you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling like, anybody can just scroll through and tap in and,
Yeah.
"Okay, what's Bonnie up to?" You know? It's yeah, it's that's a tough thing. So you go live every day?
Yes. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. California time. So
Mhm.
it's 7:20 here. So I'll be on later this morning. And I absolutely love the community that comes to my life.
Mm,
99% of the time, it's people that are genuinely interested in how I work from home. Um, and the other 1%, you know, it's very easy to tap a few things and block them. So,
sure,
yeah,
totally. Yeah, it's not that hard to do at all,
no,
and it keeps them out of your world, and it keeps them, um, well, it frees your mind a little bit not to have to worry about what they're gonna say or do or
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just a lot of dumb people on social media that are out to get other people or whatever, but so you go live. All right, let hold on. So, when did you start your TikTok channel? How long ago?
I started it in January.
Okay,
It doesn't mean I posted anything. I'll be
sure.
honest with you. Um, I was not consistent. Let's just be really honest and vulnerable here. I
Okay.
was not consistent. My content at the beginning was terrible. Um, and then I really buckled down
Hmm.
because I just kept thinking if other people are doing it, I can do it. I'm not being as consistent as I need to be. So I started in January, but uh, even after I had 1,000 followers or two, I did not go live consistently. And going live was a game changer for my channel, for making content. That was the game changer.
Yeah, why do you call that the game changer? What did it do so um started in January. Hang on. Let me finish that train of thought.
Yeah.
When was that sort of like, all right, I'm gonna okay, I gotta get serious with this. When was that moment?
It matches up with the I got to show my face more often moment.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was just like an epiphany. Like I'm I'm not I'm not being consistent in all ways, whether on social media, posting often enough. I got to get over showing my face. Just a whole bunch of stuff kind of came together at once.
Cool. When do you know
And
about when that was? Ish?
oh, goodness, maybe a few months into it.
Okay. So it takes you a
Yeah.
few months. Um,
Yeah.
what was the what caused or what was the epiphany about like going live? Did you see other people doing that and you were like, "Dang, that seems to be working." Or
Well, I
what?
did. Yes, I saw other people and their lives inspired me.
Cool.
Um, and then I had to really think about when I did online teaching, I did not bat an eye being on camera.
Mm,
And I don't
isn't
know
that funny?
what the difference was. Yeah, I was teaching kids, but their parents were right next to them, right? I don't know what the difference was. And when I had to
Mm.
really analyze it, like I was providing them value and I was teaching them a skill. Why is this any different?
Oh man, isn't that
And it
funny how like we do that with this online? Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
and that's when I just decided, you know what? I'm going to view this as like a morning webinar and I'm going to get on and I'm going to teach and that's what I'm comfortable with. And
Yeah.
that's
Oh
when
my
I
gosh.
really I tapped into what I was comfortable doing years ago. Yeah.
So smart. That's genius because
Sometimes it happens.
there's this weird taboo around social media about, social media or just the internet in general and like
Yeah.
especially around like starting a business because there's so much out there that's just real actual BS.
Yes.
And so people are nervous or worried or unsure, but tapping into something that you've already done, it's like nobody feels weird feelings about showing up to work every morning. It's like you're gonna walk in and show your face at work, like, but
Like,
something about
so don't get me wrong. My first few were disastrous. They were like the wild, wild west. And I'm like, I'm never doing this again. And I had to take a break and then I buckled down again. Don't get me
right,
wrong. It wasn't like the sky opened up and birds sang. Um,
right.
but after a while, I did find my like, I'm back to teaching online momentum. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
geez, that's power. Yeah. I mean, maybe the big difference is that, you're sort of betting on yourself. I think that a lot of times people have have a hard time with the difference between, for instance, going to work. You're betting on somebody else and it's not as vulnerable. There's not a lot on the line for you in that moment every day, as in like the business could go away, you'll find another job. In this
Right.
case, it really is, if think about what it implies if you go live. It implies you've got a message. It implies you've got something important to say, and so you go live and yeah, your first ones are probably going to be terrible. So were mine. Mine are embarrassing. 10 years ago, just getting started, I'm doing a webinar from my living room floor.
Yes.
I it is it's hard to even think about.
Yeah.
And no one shows up, but I do the webinar anyway, and it's a nightmare. I thought I was gonna send it out to my email list, my tiny email list. Um, it was so bad I didn't even send it out because I was like, "Oh my god, I can't imagine anyone watching this."
Yeah.
And I like that you bring that up because wouldn't you agree everybody has a day one? Everybody?
Yes. And sometimes, honestly, Matt, sometimes our day one continues for 30 or 60 days, where you think it's not going to get better. But the truth is, if you're consistent with it,
Right.
day one does end.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
it does.
Yeah, the day one. I like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it ends. It definitely ends, and there's just I don't know. It's just the same with anything, right? I mean, it's the same with learning a new language, learning calculus, learning, whatever. It's that first day really sucks and your brain's overwhelmed and you feel like life's kind of falling apart.
Yeah.
And then day 2 and then day 5 and you're like, "Okay, well, it there's somebody who said I can't remember who said this, but basically he said, everything's going to work out. It has to. Everything's going to work out because it has to.
Yes.
And if you're consistent enough, the human spirit, the human nature in us will sort of take over and you'll start to figure out different ways of being. How do I wake up in the morning, get excited and go live? How do I wake up, create 5 pieces of content and explode my TikTok channel? Everybody in this community seems to do 3 to 5 pieces of content a day, but there's content creators out there doing 10 pieces of content a day, 15 pieces of content a day that
Yeah.
are pretty similar, but they add a new twist or they add just a slightly different music or something. Um and or a different outfit or a different colored background or a different, just like and they'll just pump out ideas and content and post at different times in the day and people in our community do that too. But yeah, I think escaping not escaping, but powering through that day one moment is really like that's the key to virtually everything.
Yes, I think back to when I started new jobs, and day one was the hardest. Like, you didn't even know the layout of the building. You didn't know where the little break room was.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's getting really familiar with what you're doing, and it's going to be uncomfortable,
Mm,
but when you push through what's waiting on the other side, it's really good. It's really
right.
good. Yeah.
What's on when you go live? Okay,
Yeah.
so when you go live, and your what okay, you had a day 1 for content, you had a day 1 for your lives. What do you what do you talk about day 1, your first TikTok live, right? Because a lot of people end up hitting 1,000 followers and they're like, "Okay, this is my whole goal. I wanted to make it here. Now I can put a
Yeah.
link in my bio and now I can go live and all this stuff." What do you think um what's important for somebody to know when they are first going live? What kind of strategies have you deployed, and what exactly do you teach? What do you talk about when you're relatively still small, but you're going live every day at 9 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, the first thing, tell your story. Stories connect people. And while you may think your story is not that mind blowing, there are other people that you will connect with. So
Mm,
tell your story because, you know, I follow other content creators on TikTok and everyone says, tell your story.
mm,
Tell your story. And you may not be comfortable. Like, I don't like getting out there and telling my story like, hey, I'm a single mom and I struggled for so many years and this is and I flipped, but other moms or divorced moms or I get it because my partner and I, we have flipped schedules, so someone's always with the kids.
Right.
Tell your story. That's the
Mm.
first thing. And even if you don't have any results yet, show them what you're learning, show them what you have done so far, because you will connect with them. They're like, I'm on day 3 of the challenge and I have 1,000 followers already, and this is what they're showing me. And this is what I'm going to mirror in the training. Show them.
Hmm.
Yes.
Love that.
That's,
And
yeah.
what's happened since you've gone live? What changes? What has resulted in your business? What's a result that you've got from going live that you didn't expect, or
Well,
what's
Matt,
yeah.
I am I am an ordinary regular mom, and this is what I talk about on my lives. Like, I drive a minivan, I go to sports meets. I never thought I'd be doing lives, let alone having tons of people that purposely come to my live every day because they
Wow.
want to hear what I'm going to say. I don't think I'm anything special. I don't think I'm doing something other people can't do. So to have people purposely come into my lives
Hmm.
to listen to me, it's really mind-blowing. Um, but the community has been so incredibly supportive. Now, if somebody comes in and they say something negative, I don't even have a chance to hit block before 5 people chime in.
Hmm.
And that is really, that's just mind blowing.
Wow. It's
Yeah.
the power of really building a following. That's
Yes.
incredible. And also, when you go live, you said something, you said, "It's mind-blowing to me that people show up to my live." But if
Yeah.
you think about it, I'm not mind blown by that at all. I mean, with people who go out onto the internet and teach valuable skills or teach something that's maybe not controversial, but they teach something that's not quite the status quo or
Yeah.
not quite what's taught by the majority of the population or the majority of the world. It's never super surprising. When you unpack it, it's less surprising. People want to lean in. People wanna be like, "Man, what's she gonna tell us today? What's new today? What's going on?" Like, and even, I think some people wanna tune in multiple days in a row. They wanna tune in again. They wanna sit with it. I was just looking at a metric for our company about the length of time from somebody hitting one of our pages for the first time. We have
Hmm.
really good tracking in place on our whole website, all our websites and funnels. And that journey is a long time. It's many days. It's usually
Yes.
never the first day. They'll hit our page, they'll leave. They'll come back in a few days, they'll leave. They'll come back again. They'll come back many times before they ever spend a single dollar with us.
Yeah.
So it's no wonder that people are tuning in, watching, rewatching. And also, when you go live, this is something I learned is, it often feels like you're kind of covering the same thing. You're talking about the
Yes.
same concepts, talking about the same thing, talking about, whatever. But there is a big time magic secret in learning that there's people who need to hear the information multiple ways, differently, in different formats. It's why, for instance, our Decade in a Day training has a lot of the similar concepts and setup as the challenge, as the affiliate blueprint. And we've had people come into that training and be like, well, you know, a lot of this is covered in the affiliate marketing business blueprint. Why are we doing this live? And when people get to relearn and relearn and see it differently and then apply it and try it this way, that's how you really cement something and learn something. And
Yes.
so when people come into your lives, it's no surprise. The same way it's no surprise where if somebody's a yesterday we on a dating coach, if somebody goes to his lives and shows up to his lives and watched a lot of his videos, yeah, it's because they're struggling with dating or they're struggling with money or they're struggling with parenting or whatever, and they're gonna do when they find somebody who they resonate with, somebody that they trust, that they feel like, "This person's giving it to me straight," which you definitely do in your lives.
Thank you.
And 'cause I've seen your lives many times, they show up on my For You page,
No kidding.
even on accounts I don't follow you on. I'll just be
Wow.
scrolling around randomly, and it's like, "Oh, shit, there's Bonnie."
Oh,
You're getting a lot of good exposure. You're doing
thank you.
great. I mean, and I just think, it's really powerful to remember that so many people flowing through are going to be on day one. And even if people are revisiting, they like to hear the same concepts. They like to learn and really cement things as a concept in their brain, especially when it's so new and uncommon,
Yeah.
like is what you're teaching.
Yeah. And I think because it's so out of the 9 to 5 or 8 to 4, whatever kind of office hours, it's it can go either way. People are really either interested or they just keep scrolling. But that's what weeds everybody out, because the people who
Mm.
stay are not interested in the typical work life kind of setup. They want something different. And yeah, I mean, going live has just been a game changer, honestly, Matt. And
Yeah.
I wish I did it sooner.
Yeah, totally. And, some of the biggest, best, fastest growing names that I've ever seen in our community in multiple different niches, industries are the people who go live regularly. It's crazy. And I've seen it grow their channels quickly, but I've also just seen their conversions.
Yeah.
So here's a really good secret. And I know this is happening with you, which is why I'm going to bring this up. The conversion rate. So I say something in marketing that I feel like is important, which is not all leads are created equal. So a lot of times people will write into me and they'll say, "Hey, what's your average lead value for the company?" Meaning, of all the leads that we get at Legendary Marketer, what's the average lead value? What are they worth? So let's say we get 10,000 leads and we make $10,000 in sales. The average lead value is $1, right?
Mhm.
But we might that somebody might be thinking, okay, well, if I can generate a lead for less than $1, I'll be profitable. But you could go generate a lead through solo ads or Facebook ads or something like that versus, somebody like Bonnie might refer us a customer who goes live every day, who nurtures leads, who gives an exponentially more, who gives exponentially more value than maybe does a Facebook ad. And so your lead value will be higher because people are really tuned in, and it's a hot buyer. That's what I call it. It's a hot buy, somebody who's ready to go, super hot, ready to buy. And in the world of digital education, and especially something where you might be selling something for a higher premium price, that is something that's crazy important. And over time, what you'll find is the people who are really giving a lot of value on the front end are often reaping the biggest rewards on the back end. Or it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be going live,
Right.
but in the way that they connect with their members, the way that they tell their story, maybe they have a Facebook group where they nurture those people, or whether they go live on TikTok, whatever it is, the conversion rate, both to customers becoming a customer and then also purchasing something of a higher premium price, is far higher.
I cannot tell you the amount of times I look at my TikTok live analytics, how many unique viewers I've had. I compare it to how my email list grew literally in 90 minutes, because sometimes I'm on hour,
Mm.
hour and a half, and then how many conversions I have within the hour
Hmm. Yeah.
blows my mind.
Yep. Makes sense. People are excited. They're in the
Yeah.
moment, and it's taking that audience, smushing them down into a single moment where you can really warm them up, give them a specific call to action, and then, it's basically taking a lemon and squeezing everything you can out of that lemon, the lemon being your following. And yeah, wow, that's powerful.
And when
That's
I thought
powerful.
about, posting content, super important. Don't get me wrong. You need to be consistent with your content.
Sure.
However, there are questions asked during the live that nobody will think of asking on your content. You can
Mhm.
promote anything you want, but if someone watches a 7-second clip, they're not going to think of a question about an email list or a question
Sure.
about, how to find a product. they're going to watch your content and follow you. But then when they get in your lives, they're going to ask you questions. And for
Mhm.
me, that was the best way to connect with my audience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Super powerful.
Thank you.
And you're gonna be live later today?
Yes, Monday. So it's 7:38 here, California.
Same here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Good morning. Where I'm going to be live 9 a.m.
Cool.
and usually on about an hour, hour and a half. Share my story, share my journey, explain what freelance
Wow.
digital marketing is, what it's not. Um, I do pride myself. There aren't many things in my life I pride myself on, but this I do. I'm very honest and transparent in my lives.
Yeah,
That
cool.
that that's people will see right through the smoke screens if you put them up. And
Sure.
yeah, I'm very honest and transparent about this type of work. Whether you're looking for a way to work from home or you want to start a full online business, you got to know everything when you get into it, or even think of getting into it. Yeah,
Yeah. Wow, cool.
yeah, yeah.
Well, for everybody who's on with us, a couple hundred people will be watching this as a replay. For everybody who's on here, you can find Bonnie at This Mom Hustles Hard. And what a great handle. I love that. On TikTok, on Instagram.
Thanks. Yeah,
And I would encourage everybody, set a little reminder. Just, everybody's got their phone open right now. I guarantee it.
yeah.
So take out your phone, set a little timer for 9 a.m. Set an alarm for 9 a.m. or I guess noon Eastern. If you're in Eastern time, watch this over lunch, but go tune in and watch Bonnie. Some of you asked, what does she talk about on her lives? What is, go follow Bonnie on TikTok. Comment, let her know, hey, I found you on Wake Up Legendary. I'm excited to follow your account, whatever. And then tune into her lives every single day, noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific time. And watch a master at work. Watch a
Oh,
master
Matt, thank you. That's
coordinate
that's very
and
nice. That's very
yeah,
nice.
well, you are a master. You've tapped into and I don't just say that. I mean, I've seen your lives. I mean, I've watched
Goodness.
some of your lives and you've tapped into something. You've brought in what a master does is they take their existing skill set. They look at what's my life history here? What have I done well? What do I know? How can I apply that in a way where I can leverage and make money using this thing called the internet, where I have infinite reach to the entire world? How could I do that? And that's exactly what you do in your lives, which is really powerful.
Thank you.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, what an example. Everybody who's sitting here watching, listening, typing in the comments, everybody, so many, not everybody, so many people don't realize that they could tune in and watch your live. And it's one of the most powerful things that they could ever do, to watch somebody on just on their shit, just really locked
Thank
in,
you.
dialed in, and connecting with people through social media, which is a really powerful skill. Takes a little bit of time to build that skill, but it's a very, very powerful skill.
Yeah, and sometimes I wish I started going live sooner and more consistently, but I may have not been in the right headspace.
Yeah.
And you have to just you in general, when you commit to going live, you commit to going live.
Yep.
And you own that time. It's your live. So you don't someone said this to me on my live the other day where someone came in and they were being obnoxious. And I scrolled up and I saw the comments, and this person said, "It's your live. Don't let anyone dictate how you do it." And I was like, man, they're right. They're right. Yeah. Yeah.
They're right. They're
Yeah.
right. Well, cool. Bonnie, thank you so much for coming
Thank you.
on.
It was my pleasure. It was nice meeting face to face, Matt.
Yeah, likewise, likewise. I felt like, so sometimes people are like, it feels like I already know you, Matt. And this was one of the rare times where I had that experience with you, where
Oh,
I've
thank you.
already seen your lives just pop up on my thing, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'll tune in for a sec. And so I already felt like I knew you
Oh,
because you're such
oh,
a you're such a
thank you.
damn TikTok celebrity,
Oh my goodness. And to think I almost never got on it, right?
I know, right? Well, we'll look back on this day someday and maybe you should screenshot this or screenshot, this episode on our Facebook page or whatever, save it, and we'll probably look back on this day and think, remember back when you had 12,000 followers and you'll have, whatever, 500,000 followers
Oh
and
my goodness.
you'll have your own coaching program and all of this kind of stuff. And this the same way you look back on day one of your TikTok, right? The same way we look back on that and we're like, yeah, day one, that was crazy. Remember those days? I didn't even know what I was doing. That happens all the time, and it's
Yeah,
and it's a fun thing to see. So well, cool. I'm gonna send everybody over to your live, and we'll send them all over to your TikTok account, and get you even more followers, and
I
and you'll
appreciate that.
inspire lots of people.
I appreciate that. Thanks,
You got
Matt.
it.
This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome, of
Thank you.
course. Hey, and make sure to reach out in a couple months. We'd love to have you back on.
I will. I will.
Cool.
This was wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's do it again.
Cool. Have a good rest of your morning, Bonnie.
You too. Thanks, Matt.
You got it. All right, everybody. So it's at This Mom Hustles Hard. You can find her on Instagram. You can find her on TikTok. Uh, she goes live every single Monday through Friday. So listen, many of you are new with content. You're newer with social media. You're like, "Wow, man, what could I possibly do? What's a good example of somebody who can kind of show me the ropes, and maybe somebody who's a little newer, maybe somebody who this didn't come natural to." That's the point. I think that's a big takeaway from me today is, if you're like, God, this whole social media creating videos, I don't know how to do this. I don't even know how to set up my TikTok. Look, Bonnie's just a great example of somebody who's just said, hey, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to get consistent. I'm going to post content. I'm going to go live. Go follow Bonnie and watch some of her lives, comment on her lives, give her some likes on her lives, and help sort of blow up her account even more than it has, because she's such an inspiration to our community and to just, like I said, she was on my For You page, to a lot of people who don't know who Bonnie is, to a lot of people who don't know um, how to make money online. Um, they discover Bonnie's live, they discover her channel, and um, yeah, and every time that you're doing that, you're sort of building, we call it good business karma. And eventually that comes back around. So This Mom Hustles Hard. Go give Bonnie a follow. We'll be back here tomorrow again, 10 a.m. Eastern, for another episode of Wake Up Legendary. We go live here every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Friday. So you've got us at 10 a.m. Eastern. As soon as you tune off, go do a little bit of work. Tune into Bonnie at noon Eastern, and you can just make this a whole little thing every day that this is what you do. So all right, and Michelle says, and Bonnie answers her emails. How cool is that? What a beast. Love it. All right, guys, see you back here tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. Peace out. See you.